Hey guys, just doing another video. This is on how you graph the required graphs in the task. So I've shown you how to use Excel to find the measures of center and the measures of spread. And most of your actual argument to prove or disprove your hypothesis is going to be based on the information that you put on your calculation scaffold. Okay? And we already saw that based on measures of center, the gamers were faster, but based on measures of spread, they were less consistent. These numbers prove that, but statistics is also about representing data on graphs. You need at least one histogram to discuss the skew of your data sets, and you need parallel box plots of your data sets to compare the distributions for your chosen variable. So on DayMap, when you start this assignment, I'm going to give you a package that contains all of the graph generators that you need. And so I'm going to show you how to do a histogram using this histogram generator on imathas.com, the histogram generator here. So the data that you need to put on the histogram would be your averaged of the trials. Okay? You're going to show this in a histogram to show whether it's skewed one way or another, or if it's symmetrical. So remember, when you're doing a histogram, you need a number of classes that's between 5 and 10, and the classes have to fit your lowest bit of data, which we can see here was the minimum was 208, and it goes to a maximum of 382. So how do we deal with a histogram generator? Well, the data label was reflex score in milliseconds. The lower class limit is going to be the lowest number that your histogram is going to go down to. We don't need it to go to 0 because our data starts at 208. So the nice round number closest to 208 is going to be at 200. So I'm going to make the lower class limit 200. Class width tells you how wide the classes are. So the class width that this used to be was 3. That's why it goes from 0 to 3. So you have to think a little bit. I need it to go up to, what's a nice round number just beyond 382? I need it to go up to 400, right? Because that's the closest nice round number to that. That's a spread of like 200. So I'm going to need a certain number of class intervals. If I did 5 classes and they were 20 wide, I got it to generate a frequency table. That only gets me up to 300, okay? But I'm only at 5 classes. If I went to 10 classes, which you're allowed to do because you can have 5 to 10 classes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and it gets up to 400. So this is going to fit my data. This width and height is how many pixels the drawing of the graph is going to be. So that's, you can play around with that later. But you have to prepare the frequency table so you can put your frequencies in. So now we have to look at the data. Did I have anything between 200 and 220? No. Yes, there was one. Between 220 and 240. No. Less than 240. This was exactly 240, so that's actually going to go in the third class. So no. Yes, that's 1. So 1. 240 to 260. That's more than 260. 240, so there's 1. 2, because 255 is between 240 and 260, so we're at 2. We're at 2. 260 to 280. 275 is one of them. 1. 1 and 261. 2. 280 to 300. 295 is 1, so 1. And 281, 2. 300 to 320. That's 1, 2. There's 2. in the class of 300 to 320, 320 to 340. 1. Just 1. 340 to 360. No. 360 to 340, 360. No. 360 to 380. No. 382 was the highest, so there was 1. Just double check how many bits of data were there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I can graph this now. Oh, I have to put zeros there. Graph it. There's your histogram. So you can see there's a peak of data on the lower end. So we could call that positively skewed. Okay? Let's say slightly positively skewed because this is a bit further out. It's kind of a peak in the middle and then it's pretty even on either side. So slightly positively skewed to symmetrical actually. So what you could do is you've generated this graph, copy image, and let's say you were doing your report on this same document. I can paste that diagram here. I can resize it. Reflex score in milliseconds. Done. That is how to do a histogram. How do I then do box plots? Because you're required to do that according to the assignment. Parallel box plots. You need parallel box plots because you're comparing two sets of data. What do I need to draw a parallel box plot? I need the box plot grapher at imathas.com. This will be linked on Daymap. How do I make it parallel? Because right now this is only going to graph one box plot. I need 2. Box plot 1 title. Let's make that the gamers. Let's make box plot 2 the non-gamers. And you can see it wants the minimum, quartile 1, median, quartile 3, and the maximum. It's because a box plot is just a picture of that. So what's the minimum of the gamers? 208.67. 251.5 is quartile 1, median 278.5, quartile 3, 304.92, max 382.67. Box plot 2, non-gamers, smallest was 207.33. So the quickest time was actually from a non-gamer, even though the measures of center are saying that they were slower. Quartile 1, 278.67, median 290.5, 324.83, and max 354.33. Box plot limits, overall minimum. Well, the smallest number we're going to see here is 207, so let's make the overall minimum. Let's make the scale start at 200. And the highest number we get is 382. Let's make the highest number 400. Distance between tick marks. I don't know, that's probably something you can play around with. Let's just make it 10 for now. Axis title, reflex, score in milliseconds. Display numbers on box plot. Let's see what that looks like. That's a nice box plot. These are a little thin though. Am I able to change the height? Let's say 300. What does that look like? It's a bit thicker. I don't like this overlapping. Let's make it a bit wider. 600. Draw here. It's still kind of stuck together. What about 1000? That's better, but that might not fit on the page. You can play around with it, okay? And I'm going to copy that, paste it into my assignment. That fits on the page nicely. So there you can see I've shown you how to draw a histogram so that we can talk about the skew of the data. Positive, negative, positively skewed, negatively skewed, or symmetrical. And this allows us to talk about the spread and also the skew as well. So you can see box plots also tell you about the skew. The gamer box plot is slightly squished on the left because this is longer, so positively skewed like we gathered from this histogram. What could we say about the non-gamers? The squish is happening on the high end, so that allows us to talk about the fact that non-gamers were negatively skewed. So their data was more in the higher end or the lower reflexes, okay? And we'll talk about analyzing all of this information as well as the statistics when we do a video on the write-up section. So hopefully that helps you out, and I'll see you in the next video.